Scott's bar smelled worse than usual. Hangovers, boiled meat, sour sweat baked into plastic chairs. A graveyard of bad decisions, if graveyards served drinks in chipped glasses and charged extra for ice. I'd come here because Oakley asked me to. He didn't ask often. He was waiting at the corner booth, back to the wall, eyes on the door. Looked like a man who hadn't slept in 3 days. Jaw clenched, shoulders rigid. He didn't touch the drink in front of him. I slid in opposite. "You look worse than the decor." "Veil," he said. One word, and it hung there between us like a knife. My coat settled as I leaned back. "You're sure?" "I've been digging," Oakley said, low, voice tight. Cross-checked comm logs, intercepted a payout line. It wasn't just corp muscle that burned me. Rourke sold me out, sold me to Veil. The name hit harder than the whiskey I hadn't ordered yet. Rourke, ghost from before. Not a stranger, never a stranger. I said nothing, let the silence stretch. Scott himself passed by, carrying a tray of something that looked boiled twice. He gave me a nod. Oakley nothing. Finally, I said, "You want me to say, don't do it?" Oakley's eyes hardened. "I want you with me when I find him." I watched him a long moment, saw his father's jawline in him, though I didn't say it, saw the hurt, the fire, and beneath it, the quiet resolve of a man who wasn't asking permission. I downed a drink I didn't order, left no credits, and stood. "Then let's go," I said. "Time to end this." The wretched light lifted like a wounded beast, groaning her way through the atmosphere. Engines coughed dust into the sky and left the desert colony shrinking below. Oakley sat in the co-pilot's chair, knuckles pale against the armrest. He didn't talk, not at first. When the stars opened up ahead, he said, "He's hiding in Sector 3R old relay station. Off-grid. He thinks no one remembers it. People like Rourke always think they're smarter than the fire chasing them," I muttered. "Problem is, fire doesn't stop." Oakley shot me a look. "This isn't your job." "No," I said. "It's yours. I'm just flying the taxi." He almost smiled, but it didn't stick. "Aye." 3 jumps later, we dropped out of drive. The relay station drifted in the dark, a corpse of steel and dust. Once, it had handled thousands of signals a day. Now, its bones crackled faintly with static, like a dying animal muttering in its sleep. I cut the wretched light's engines and coasted in silent. We docked on a side hatch, seals scraping, hull creaking. No alarms, no greeting, just cold metal. Oakley checked his rifle. New kit, solid. His hands didn't shake. "You sure?" I asked. He nodded once. "He dies tonight." I didn't argue. Inside, the place was rot. Rust along the bulkheads, stale air filters grinding, light panels flickering like broken teeth. Someone had tried to keep it alive, patching wires, stringing up jury-rigged systems. Rourke had never been the careful type, but survival makes liars of us all. We moved slow, sound carried. Twice we passed Merc patrols, cheap muscle, half drunk, armed like they'd been paid in scraps. We dropped them quick, silent. Oakley didn't hesitate. Finally, we reached the core, Rourke's den. The door slid open on a grind, and there he was. Rourke. Older, heavier, eyes bloodshot, skin sallow with years of cheap stimulants and cheaper decisions. But when he saw Oakley, he smiled. "Well," he drawled, "the prodigal son returns." Oakley froze. His grip tightened on the rifle. "Don't call me that." Rourke spread his arms, mocking. "What would you have me call you then? The corpse that should have been left behind? The pawn Veil wanted me to deliver? You're alive because I chose to sell you, Oakley. If Veil had wanted you dead, you'd be dust." Oakley's voice cracked like glass. "You betrayed me." "I saved you," Rourke said, stepping closer. You think Solivagus here didn't know? You think he didn't see Vale coming? He's the reason your precious Talvin slipped through Vale's hands. That made you bait. And me? He tapped his chest. I made sure you weren't the worm that got eaten. Enough! I snapped. My hand hovered near my sidearm, but Oakley didn't hear me. His world had narrowed to Rourke, and Rourke alone. Rourke's grin twisted. Face it, boy. Blood is blood. You're mine. You've always been mine. Oakley's face went still. The storm inside him settled into something sharper. He raised the rifle, steady. You lost the right to that word the day you sold me. Rourke's eyes flicked, just once to me. Maybe he thought I'd stop Oakley. Maybe he thought blood counted for more than betrayal. He thought wrong. The shot cracked like thunder in the empty station. Rourke staggered back, surprise carved across his face, then dropped, a heap of old lies hitting the floor. Oakley stood there, chest heaving, rifle smoking. Then he exhaled slow, lowered the weapon, and turned away. I didn't say anything. Nothing to say. Some truths don't need words. We left Rourke where he fell, ash to ash, silence to silence. The wretched light pulled free of the relay station, engines burning hot. The void swallowed the station, leaving it to rot with the rest of the war's carcasses. Oakley sat in silence, the memory chip of his rifle still warm. Finally, he said, Vale used him to get to you. I kept my eyes on the stars. He always does. Oakley's jaw tightened. Then Vale's next. Vale's always next, I said. But not tonight. He looked at me then. Not as a merc, not as a survivor. As a man who had finally cut himself free of the chain Rourke forged. For the first time since Scott's bar, he breathed easy. I leaned back, let the wretched light carry us on. Another job done. Another ghost left behind. But Vale was still out there, waiting, watching, and the war wasn't over. Not yet.
That is the end for this one. Make sure you come back for more, and like and subscribe. See you soon.